Welcome to Talk English Today. Welcome to Talk English Today.
Hello, dear English learners. Welcome back to another episode of English on the Train. Learn English through story. I'm your friend and English coach, and today, we are going to listen to a very touching story. A story about love, kindness, and what it really means to have a beautiful heart. So, take your seat, look out the train window, and relax. Let the rhythm of the train guide your thoughts as we begin today's story. The train moves through the countryside. Fields, trees, and little houses pass by your window. You can almost imagine a small town in a peaceful valley, where people live simple lives, and kindness still matters. In that town, one bright morning, a young man stood in the middle of the square. He was full of energy and confidence. With a loud voice, he called out, "Look at me, everyone. I have the most beautiful heart in the whole valley." People stopped. They gathered around. And yes, it was true. His heart was perfect. There wasn't a single mark, scratch, or scar on it. Everyone admired it. The crowd clapped and praised him. The young man smiled proudly. He was enjoying the attention. He thought to himself, "My heart is perfect, and everyone can see how beautiful I am." He felt proud, maybe too proud. But then an old man stepped forward. He walked slowly, but his eyes were full of wisdom. He said softly, "Young man, your heart may look perfect, but it's not nearly as beautiful as mine." The crowd fell silent. Everyone turned to look at the old man. The old man opened his shirt and showed his heart. It was strong and beating, but it was full of scars. There were pieces missing, and other pieces added, but they didn't fit perfectly. Some parts were rough, some were jagged, and in a few places, there were deep holes where pieces were missing. The people gasped. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. "How can this man say his heart is more beautiful?" they whispered. The young man laughed. "You must be joking," he said. "Look at your heart, it's a mess. Mine is perfect." The old man smiled gently. "Yes, your heart looks perfect," he said, "but I would never trade mine for yours. You see, every scar on my heart represents a person I have loved. When I love someone, I give them a piece of my heart, and they often give me a piece of theirs." He pointed to the mismatched pieces. "Those are the gifts I received from others. They don't fit perfectly, and that's okay. The rough edges remind me of the love we shared. Sometimes, I gave pieces of my heart to people who didn't give anything back. Those are the empty spaces you see here. They hurt, but they remind me of the love I gave freely." The young man became quiet. He looked at his perfect heart, smooth, untouched. But suddenly, it didn't feel so beautiful anymore. He looked at the old man's heart again, scarred, rough, imperfect, but filled with stories, emotions, and life. He began to understand. The old man placed his hand on his chest and said, "A heart becomes beautiful not because it is perfect, but because it has loved deeply and truly." The young man's eyes filled with tears. He walked slowly to the old man. With trembling hands, he reached into his chest and tore out a small piece of his perfect heart. He offered it to the old man. The old man smiled and took it gently. Then he tore a piece from his own scarred heart and placed it into the young man's heart. The two pieces didn't fit perfectly. There were rough edges, but something magical happened. The hearts began to beat together. The young man looked at his heart again. It was no longer perfect, but now it was alive with warmth and emotion. He could feel the love that flowed between him and the old man. The crowd watched silently. No one spoke. Everyone could feel the truth of what they had just witnessed. The young man said softly, "Now I understand. True beauty is not in perfection, but in love, kindness, and the courage to share our hearts." Host reflective tone. As the train continues its journey, look out the window again. Think about your own heart. Is it perfect? Or does it carry a few scars? Each scar, each wound, each memory, they all mean you have lived, loved, and cared. Don't be afraid of giving love. Even if you get hurt, even if people don't always love you back, Your heart becomes more human, more real, more beautiful. Let's take a moment to learn some new words from this story. Proclaiming, announcing something loudly and proudly. Flaw, a small mistake or imperfection. Scar, a mark left after being hurt, either on the body or in the heart. Gouge, a deep cut or hole. Cherish, to love and value something deeply. Trade, to exchange one thing for another. Repeat after me slowly. True beauty comes from love. Scars tell stories of the heart. Perfection is not beauty. Love is. Excellent. You're doing great. Remember, my friend, every time you care for someone, you are giving a little piece of your heart. And every time someone loves you back, they fill a piece inside you. That is what makes life meaningful. That is what makes you beautiful. So never be afraid to love, to give, to forgive, and to start again. Host, warm, calm voice. Thank you for joining me on this train journey today. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to English on the Train for more beautiful stories that help you learn English and touch your heart. Until next time, keep learning, keep loving, and keep your heart beautiful. Goodbye, my friend.